Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Today, we're joined by Jamey Abshire from Broussard, Louisiana, here at the state session representing Parks and Recreation and LRPA. Jamey oversees one of the state's largest and most impactful sports complexes. We'll explore how this massive 122-acre facility serves as a vital quality of life amenity for residents with its state-of-the-art turf fields and diverse recreation programs. Discover how this complex also functions as a powerful economic engine, bringing in significant tourism and revenue for the city. Stay tuned to hear about the passion and pride that drives their success in building community through parks and recreation.
All right, this is Craig LeBlanc again here with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. We're at the state session representing Parks and Recreation, LRPA, all things Parks and Rec. And I got to find Jamey Abshire from, it's Broussard, correct?
Broussard, Louisiana.
Okay, this is one of the greatest little Cajun towns in Louisiana, and they have a massive sports complex, one of the largest in the state. And I wanted him to speak on, gosh, so much that a sports complex brings to its city, but maybe just talk about what motivated y'all to build that, and then what has it done for the city?
Well, the city was looking for an avenue to stay true to what the city was about, quality of life, and one avenue that you can create one of the best quality of lives is having open green space, phenomenal parks and rec departments for residents to utilize with rec sports, and also it's got the other aspect of it where you've got the economical engine is what I call it, because it's exactly what it is. Just the economical impact alone that you can have with a megaplex is what we actually have. I mean, we sit on 122 acres. The complex cost $37 million. It was bonded out. It's backed by a half-cent sale. Residents of Broussard voted on unanimously, but passed without a problem, which kudos to the citizens for having a forethought and the backing and know what Parks and Rec bring to a thriving community, because there's not a community out there that's thriving that doesn't have a thriving Parks and Rec department in it as well. So first and foremost, the complex was built for quality of life aspect, to be able to have a state-of-the-art facility for the citizens to enjoy and be able to utilize for rec sports, which is how our park and programming is designed. During the week time is first and foremost, rec comes first. During the week, we do all of our rec league stuff, and then on the weekends, when the weekend rolls around, that's when the economic impact really kicks in, and the park gets utilized. I mean, I've got 9 fully turfed, 100% turfed baseball, softball fields.
Wow.
With 6 soccer fields. One of them is 100% turf, so we could play soccer, lacrosse, flag football, regular football, just anything on a soccer field. We could utilize as well.
Now, were you involved the whole time through this whole process, as far as before they had it, when they tried to get all the stakeholders involved, or when did you come in?
I was not. The facility was built in 2017. I grew up and was a resident of Broussard for forever. That's my hometown. That's where I'm from.
What's the population of Broussard right now?
Population of Broussard is around, if you ask Mayor, it's going to be around 16,000.
Yeah.
I think it's heated. Some people say 14, some will say 16, but theoretically, I think it's around 16.
And really, most of our towns in all of Louisiana don't have a sports complex like this. And so for Broussard to have something, this is a pretty meaningful economic driver, correct?
Absolutely. And I mean, it just, they don't understand. I mean, just last year alone, I hosted 45 weekend events and 52 weekends. So I mean, I saw probably, well, I saw not probably, this is numbers that are factually tracked. I had over 330,000 people just in weekend activity alone. which generated $1.2 million of taxable sales. So you asked what the impact is. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. Now, what do y'all use, like Pacer AI or
Placer
AI?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I know a lot of people are using that to track foot traffic and see if it's from in town, out of town, how long they stay at your park, stuff like that.
Correct.
It's been pretty useful for y'all.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we use Placer AI for that, and then we send that data over to our LCVC, which is the tourism board, and they've got the economical calculator that kind of spits out the nominal value of what it actually drove. So it's pretty factual numbers. It's true numbers.
Yeah, and the great thing about sports tourism is you have outside money coming in, spending hotel, restaurant, fuel, buying stuff, money for a weekend. And that's kind of like the ultimate renewable resource is called tourism. Yep. And so this is big.
Well, that's not debatable either. The second biggest industry in the States right now is sports tourism.
Yeah.
I mean, that if you ask anybody that's involved with economical impact studies, it's sports tourism is going to be up in the top 1 or 2 of everybody's list.
Right. Yeah, and I think as AI takes over more and more jobs, quality of life industries are going to flourish, which is why you're seeing a lot of yoga studios and coffee houses popping up. That's more about experiential, and I think there is no larger industry in experiential and quality of life than the park industry, the Parks and Rec industry, and having one of these mega complexes is it's just rare. I think. Are there any others? I think we mentioned that maybe Ruston has something kind of comparable, but not really. Huh?
You've got Ruston that's got a pretty big facility. It is comparable to what we have. It's just different amenities. And then you've got our neighboring city to the southwest of us, Youngsville, has a facility. You've got Crowley that's got a facility. Eunice has got a pretty nice facility. So I mean, we've got quite a few facilities around our area, but it's just logistically, I've got a leg up. Logistically, we're right off of Highway 90, just south of I-10. So I mean, logistically, you can get in and out of my park fairly easily. And I mean, the city of Broussard has 3 hotels, so you don't have to leave Broussard to stay in a hotel, which is huge. So we could accommodate anybody traveling from out of town as well.
Now, how did you get to? You said you had 45 scheduled events for the calendar year. What was your, how did it start off, and then what were some secrets to how you scaled it up and was able to keep it full?
Look, it just starts off just like any job that you have. You've got to pound the pavement. You've got to do work. You've got to do your homework. I do vet all of our partners that come in and rent our facility, because I look at everybody that comes into our facility as a partner. I don't like thinking of them as a user just coming in to use a facility, because that's one of the reasons that our park is one of the most sought after parks in the state of Louisiana is the pride that we take into it. All of my staff, they take a lot of pride in the work that they do. They love coming to work. You walk in, it's clean. The facilities are pristine kept. The grass is always cut. It's always weed eated. We've got nice roses growing. The walking trail is up kept. We've got 9 pavilions out within the park, 3 fishing ponds, all within this 122 acres.
Wow.
I mean, that is the reason that people come in. So you ask how I drew them in. You got to pound the pavement. You got to make phone calls. And obviously, I've been around the industry for a long time, so I had quite a few connections within it. Then you start getting organizations that want to talk to you and come in and just see what you're all about. And we sell our complex is you're not just renting fields, you're getting an experience.
Right.
What's going to set my park off versus anybody else that they go to? It's going to be the experience. And I mean, it starts off from the staff, myself. I pride myself on being out at almost every event that we have out there. Granted, I can't be out there the whole time, but I do show my face, asking people, okay, what's working, what didn't work. Did you have any problems? What can we do better? How was my staff? Also goes to our concessions. Our concessions is third-party concessionaire. They run concessions. It's not your atypical ballpark food that comes in. They do a phenomenal job. You can get red beans and rice. You can get just on hot days they do a chicken pasta salad. So I mean, it's not your atypical hot dog and hamburger that's drenched in barbecue sauce. You know,
Right.
so. It's all about an experience, and it's all about building relationships and growing on the relationships that you have.
Yeah, I think that was. Now, when did y'all discover the third-party food vendor thing? Is that something y'all did from the beginning, or it was something? Okay.
It's something that you toss around, and concessions. That's a animal in itself. You can make a lot of money off of concessions, but it's like going, okay, is that something that we do well? You know,
Right.
I don't run the concessions. I leave that to an expert, and that's kind of my philosophy too. Is if we're going to do it, we're going to make sure that we do it better than anybody else out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It just, that's the reason why we start up some of the programming that we do, and it's like we don't like the way that this one did this, so we think we can run it better. We know we can run it better, and we put it out there, and we prove ourselves time after time, and we grow on the things that we don't do well in it year over year. And as long as we've got a continuous improvement, we're going to be fine.
Yeah. Now, is there any message you might have for state legislators here at in their session about Parks and Recreation? Why is that valuable to our communities?
Man, it's so valuable for the communities, and I mean, especially this day and age. We pride ourselves on giving a safe haven for our children to go to. It's a place they can come to, feel safe, don't have to worry about outside noise, outside interference. They can put a cell phone down for an hour or two, come out and play a sport that they absolutely love playing, learn a new sport that they've never played before. It's got so many health benefits. I mean, just the obesity in the nation. We're ranked one of the top nations in obesity. You know, Parks and Rec is a safe haven for get a healthier living, better quality of life. You know, it just there's so many different benefits, and I mean, obviously, it's an economic driver. Everybody likes to see money signs come in. The more Parks and Rec departments make, the more tax money spends in the state of Louisiana in local parishes.
Yeah.
That's bottom line.
Yeah, and when you think about all the other departments that you find in the city, there's not as much revenue generation, or at least revenue generation potential that can be offered inside of Parks and Recreation. And I think your sports complex is a great example of how, if you build it, you can actually bring revenue to your city and even your state.
Absolutely. And look, these complexes, you're not going to find very many complexes that are publicly run that are profitable. I mean, you're going to do a good job getting them to be in the black, real close to being green, maybe a little in yellow. Obviously, you want to keep it out the red as much as possible. But if you're running it right, you should be teetering along the break-even mark. So the complexes per se make money. Not very many of them do, but it's just the economical impact that they give to the community.
Right.
Like you say, it's putting heads in the bed. It's people eating hamburgers at the local joints. It's the moms and dads and kids going shopping at the local boutiques in between games, spending the dollars within the community. And I mean, that's what makes your communities thrive.
Yeah.
That's a thriving economy is exactly just that.
Yeah. Love it. Well, Jamey, thank you so much for coming on the Daily Parks and Rec Show and sharing with us what is it like to run one of these large sports complexes in a city. Any closing remarks to our legislators or I mean, everyone in Parks and Rec across America is listening. So what message do you have from Louisiana for them?
Yeah, look, thank you guys for supporting and seeing the importance of Parks and Rec. We couldn't do without what we do without you guys' backing. We are extremely grateful for everything that you do and the positive outlook that you guys have for Parks and Rec. and we'll continue to do what we do. I'm stoked to have the job that I do. I couldn't be more blessed to drive up at a facility like I drive up to every day and call it a job that I get to go to work for. Just knowing that I impact everybody's life that comes into my park. Last year alone, we had almost 1 million people come through the park from January 1 to December 31st. And who else can say that they impacted almost 1 million people in a positive way, everybody that walked through that park.
Love it. Love it. Well, Jamey, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and keep up the great work serving our community, keeping us beautiful and healthy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Take care.